What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady.
This story's called, "You really don't work here? Well, you should still help me anyways." I went to lunch with my boyfriend over his break. We ate at the back room and then finished up and walked out of the back room into the store. That's when Karen spotted me. My boyfriend was wearing the uniform of the store, a solid colored shirt with name tag and solid colored pants. I was wearing a polka dotted cardigan, a denim skirt, no name tag, zebra print Converse, and jewelry. He works in a department store and made a beeline for his department, which is mostly outdoors. I decided to stick around to buy some windshield wiper fluid, so was walking towards that aisle. Karen flagged me down. "Excuse me, hi, I'm in a rush, babe, so, hi, actually, I need to buy a desk fan. Actually, I'm not finished. But a desk fan, bath towels, the soft kind, not the cheap ones. Do you have laminating sheets? Actually, never mind. I need Ma'am, listen. A mesh basket, staple refillers. Are there different sizes? Anyways, I need the medium size, I guess. Are you listening? I'm in a huge rush and... So, finally, I just started walking away. It's at this point that Karen grabs my shoulder. I don't react well to being touched by strangers. "What are you doing?" "I wasn't finished. I am on a time crunch, babe. Why are you being so impatient?" "I mean, really, you're at work, honey. It's like no one respects people older than them these days. I just can't believe." "I don't work here! Do I look like I work here?" Karen looks at me and realizes her mistake and becomes visibly embarrassed. I'm finally calming down from having been grabbed by a stranger. But you came out of an employee-only door." "I was visiting my boyfriend. Even if I worked here, you don't just touch someone." "So you really don't work here?" "No." "So can your boyfriend help me?" "No, he works in gardening." Karen stops to think for a moment. I guess she had a system error when she couldn't ask for my manager, seeing as I didn't work there. She was looking extra embarrassed now and dramatically shielding her face like there were paparazzi covering her important life. "Well, you probably know the store if your boyfriend works here. You could just help me find my things. That would be the nice thing after causing this inconvenience when I told you I'm in a hurry." "Why would I help you after you grabbed me like a street thug? Are you insane?" "We're done." I turned to go, still shaken up. She calls after me. "You can't blame me for thinking you work here when you came out of an employee-only door. I'm going to report your boyfriend to the guard manager for having you back there." "Baseball pitcher?" I stopped myself before I flew into a full rage. "Excusez-moi?" I stopped walking away at this point because I didn't actually know whether my boyfriend was technically allowed to have me back there or eat lunch back there and didn't want to get him in trouble. But I also couldn't bring myself to help this woman after all that. Fine, I'll help you. Just make it quick." I snatched her list from her, and sure enough, I knew where about half the things were, which made it all that much easier to strategically avoid those aisles as I dragged Karen on a time-sucking trek around the store. This is always where they keep the laminating sheets. And they're out, but you can get a 48-pack of duct tape and tape a clear layer over your documents. It'll work just as well. Here you go. I could have sworn it was aisle 5. I guess it was actually aisle 25. We have to go back. Oh, silly me. It was aisle 6. Back we go. You know what? They're out. My mistake. It's actually aisle 18. We did this for almost 45 minutes. Longer than I thought I could pull it off. There's no cell reception in the store and almost no clocks to keep people shopping longer. So it wasn't until we walked past customer service and she saw their desk clock that she realized how long this had been going on. She was urinated. She stormed past 8 people waiting in the customer service queue to file a complaint about me eating lunch with my boyfriend, then wasting her time. I knew the customer service guy, not super well, but we'd met. He listened patiently to her side of the story, then came over to me separately and asked what happened. I broke down. I was so upset. I said I was having lunch with my boyfriend and she saw me leaving the back room and said if I didn't help her buy the things on her list, she'd get him fired, and I had no idea it was against the rules and he didn't either. I swear, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to waste her time. The store's just so big and she didn't give me a choice and she said I had to help her. I'm crying by then and the customer service guy goes, Whoa, slow down. People have lunch back there all the time. It's not a problem. I'll give her a coupon and she'll unclench. Just go home. So I lingered to be sure the customer service guy didn't get into any trouble defending me because on the hierarchy, he was basically the same level as my boyfriend, so would be vulnerable if Karen escalated. Ma'am, if you'll just join the line, I'll resolve this issue to your satisfaction. Are you freaking kidding me? I just missed my appointment because of that backroom bimbo and you're telling me what? Wait, what? Where? What? Where's your manager? I can call my direct supervisor, ma'am, but you'll have to wait for him at the back of the line. These other customers have been here, and once I service them, I'll help you right away. I want to talk to him now. He isn't back here at the moment. He's attending to business elsewhere in the store. But I have him notified that he's needed at this desk and he'll be here to assist you at his earliest convenience. Don't try to play me dumb. He's back there. I can tell he's back there. If he were here, you'd see him. Back here is just behind the desk. Further back, all we have back there is a fax machine and file cabinet. I assure you, there are no offices or anywhere anyone would be staked out to avoid you. Now excuse me, I need to help this customer. Karen keeps trying to get his attention and he keeps helping someone who's returning a cartload of stuff. Finally, Karen tries to launch herself over the counter, but does not have the agility to make it over and just kind of bounced a couple of inches off the ground. Security came over at this point and asked her to either join the queue, shop, or go home. I took that opportunity to go home. My boyfriend had to go directly to a second job, but I can't wait to laugh about this with him later. Man, what is with Karen's making people cry? Jeez, she was just trying to hang out with her boyfriend. The dude works 2 jobs and she's deciding to be a jerk. Okay, moving on. Karens are jerks, nothing new here. This story's called The Attack of the Burger Karen. So this didn't happen to me, it happened to my friend, but I will be telling it in first-person view like he told me. So a little backstory. My friend works at a restaurant. I won't say the name of it though, I'm sure some of you will try to guess what it is. The cook had a bad attitude and disrespected my friend a bunch, so my friend quit and found another job at a different restaurant. He is friends with a couple of the waiters though. Meet the cast. Karen? Poor kid. Me? Manager. Waiter. On to the story. So this was either a Friday or a Saturday, and I wasn't working that day, but decided to visit my friends and have some lunch. Note, this was around 1 week after he had quit his job there and gone to a more autistic-friendly place. So in walks the Karen, talking to poor kid who looks maybe 15. Now, I was talking to a friend who was on a lunch break with me, and the entitled mother and poor kid sit down at a table about 3 away from ours, but it is in eyesight. The other waiters are busy helping and serving other customers their food. They were in their spots for maybe 4 minutes, and the Karen started to complain about how long the service was taking, and that we should have had our order taken as soon as we got here. Then she spots us sitting down and eating, stands up and does some kind of an army march towards us, and then stares down at me, I'm guessing trying to intimidate me or something. Why aren't you taking our orders? And you should be eating on the job, it's unprofessional. I don't work here. Don't you lie to me, I saw you here last week taking orders. Well, excuse me, but you don't need to yell. He really doesn't work. I'm not talking to you, you lazy racial slur. Whoa, okay, lady, you need to calm down. Don't tell me what to do. I am the paying customer and I won't allow you lazy ways to corrupt my daughter into thinking she can be a lazy racial and homophobic slurs like you. You're not even in your work clothes, how unprofessional. Poor kid looks like she wants to disappear. Lady, I do not work here anymore. Go back to your table and wait to be served or leave and eat somewhere else. Just leave us alone. You are disturbing us and others around you. I'll have you fired for treating me like this. You know what? Go ahead. Don't you talk to me like that, young man. Manager comes out, hearing all the commotion, and walks over to our table. What's going on here? Who is yelling? This lady is... They threatened me and my daughter and called us horrible names. I want them fired for treating us like this. Wait, what? That's so not true. Well, OP here doesn't even work here anymore. He quit last week. Yeah, right. I bet you're just covering for him. I want him fired here right now. Poor kid then walks up. Mom, just stop. This is why I hate going places with you. This is why Dad is divorcing you. Karen goes quiet. Let's just go. I want to go back to Dad's house now. Okay. They left after that, and I'm not sure what happened after, but wow. Okay, I swear, we need to start carrying around spray bottles to squirt Karens when they start getting out of hand. That might fix a lot of problems. Or make worse problems, but I think it's worth the try. This story's called, How Dare You Not Serve Me, You Maid? This happened when I was 12. We were invited to attend a Chinese wedding dinner by one of our distant relatives in a neighboring country. Most of those relatives have never seen me before. We were in the ballroom of this fancy Chinese restaurant, and I was seated at a ballroom table. Because there was not enough space for my family to sit at just one table, I volunteered to sit at another table with my little sister with a group of old ladies and cousins. We began feasting on the duck, abalones, crabs, and all of the standard fare of an 8-course wedding dinner. I noticed that one of those particularly unfriendly-looking old ladies was frowning at me and seemed increasingly annoyed for whatever reason. Out of the blue, she pointed at me and said in broken English, "You go to the outside over there and give me 1 cup water." Why broken English when she had been speaking in fluent English to her son, or grandson, next to her just a few seconds prior? I was also dumbfounded by the sudden command, seeing that there were so many waitresses around. But, "Hurry up!" she screeched. Now, I was somewhat dark-skinned for a Chinese girl, and I was quite tall and lanky for my age. My sister, on the other hand, was fair-skinned and baby-faced. Hence, I probably looked like one of those live-in domestic helpers taking care of a young child. Being only 12, I raised my hand, took her glass, and asked a waitress if she could get more water. She then said, in Mandarin, "Maids nowadays are so rude. Don't they know that they're supposed to be doing their jobs, not sit here eating?" She turned to the table where my immediate family was and asked aloud, "Whose maid is this? Yours?" I slammed my chopsticks down. Word by word, I spat out, in crisp and clear Mandarin, "I am not a maid." You could see the color drain from her face as everyone turned to stare at her in silent admonishment. She spent the rest of the dinner staring down into her lap and eating unnaturally quiet. Okay, wow, what a jerk. Alright, what is with everyone and being so classist in Asia? Like, in my personal experience and every freaking story, they're always such they're so classist, you know, the older people, younger people not so much at all really, but really the big grown-up folk, really? Also, I'm not racist, I'm talking about my own peeps here, don't get it twisted, yo. This story's called Karen Messes with Almost USMA Cadet, Big Mistake. This happened last night, and apologies for the length. Here's the cast. There's Hero, me, Karen, entitled shopper determined to ruin Hero's night, Agnes, a sweet old lady. I've been working at a theme park for the last 5 years, and while I love my job and coworkers, I'll be the first to admit that the job has stresses and a fair share of Karen/Kyles. Last night, I had just gotten off an almost 11-hour shift and was exhausted. As my pantry, fridge, cat's food bowl was empty, I decided to go grocery shopping at the store where my younger brother used to work, and was friends with most of the people there. It was an hour or two to closing, and the store was almost deserted. Pure bliss for me because I didn't have to fight the snowbirds for what I wanted. I took my time and was wandering the frozen food aisle when I heard a sweet little voice ask me from behind, "Excuse me, dear, but can you please reach the frozen chicken pot pie up there for me?" I turn around and see a little old grandma sitting in an electronic shopping cart and looking at me with wide eyes. Maybe it's because of the 5 years I've worked without much thanks, but I love it whenever someone asks me politely for something. I'm willing to go well out of my way to help them, despite being exhausted and sick of being treated badly. I said with a wide smile, "Of course, ma'am," and reached up for the chicken pot pie. "This one?" "Oh, yes, thank you," she said as I put it in her basket. I noticed that she had a list in her hand and an almost empty basket. "Would you like some help getting anything else on your list?" I said, feeling my bad mood dissipating faster than chalk on a wet sidewalk. "Oh, that is so kind of you, I'd appreciate it," she said. "Your mama must be so proud of you." I laughed and said, "She raced me right." So, the next 20 minutes or so, I walked with her and helped her with her list. As we walked, we got to know each other. I learned her name was Agnes, she had 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and her first great-grandbaby was on the way. By the time she got to the end of our list, it's safe to say we became good friends. I left her at the registers, knowing that the employees at this grocery store would help her get them to her car. Agnes smiled at me and thanked me once again. Now feeling much better, I decided to finish the rest of my shopping. I decided to make my way to the deli for the best chicken salad. I love me a good chicken salad sandwich. While I looked over the packaged salad to see which had the most craisins/raisins, I heard it. A cleared throat. The war call of the wild Karen. Not wanting to let her destroy my good mood, I turned to look and was face to face with a Kate Gosselin haircut, plastic surgery-addicted trophy wife body, business intimidation outfit, and cold Cersei Lannister eyes. I smiled at her. "May I help you?" "Yes, finally," she said with an exasperated sigh and shoved a list into my face. "I need you to get me apples, milk, and—" I cut her off mid-sentence, confused. I don't know how you mistook me for an employee here," I said, gesturing to my uniform. Blue shorts, button-up shirts, and a lack of name tag and apron. "But I can point you in the right direction?" This did not satisfy the wild beast known as Karen. She stomped her imitation Louis Vuitton black heels like a bull pawing the earth. "You help that little old lady. What makes her different?" At this point, my temper was flaring, but I was trying to keep her from destroying the good mood I had for helping Agnes. "Maybe it's because she used her manners and asked nicely for help," I said in a sweet and innocent tone. I swear I saw Karen's eyes narrow and she tried to draw herself up to my height. Laughable because she had to be at least 5 feet and 2 inches and I'm almost 6 feet. She was standing on her tiptoes, wobbling as she did so. And then she did it. She poked me square in the chest. What Karen did not know about me is that when I was in high school, I was considered for an appointment at the United States Military Academy, West Point. Thanks to a heart murmur and other health issues, I decided not to seek said appointment. However, I've carried that distinct honor with no small amount of pride, and have always tried to carry myself as such. Even my managers know that and respect me for it. You do not mess with me or someone I've taken under my wing, especially when I'm in a bad mood. I grabbed Karen's wrist with the speed of a striking rattlesnake and gripped it hard enough to keep her from wriggling. I stared her down and spoke in a low voice, becoming the army officer that I might have been. "Ma'am, we can do this one of 2 ways. You can leave me alone to continue shopping the rest of the night, or I will call the police and press charges. Is that clear?" Karen went from outraged bull to meek little calf. She nodded. "Have a good night," I said and let go to continue my shopping. 10 minutes or so later, I had finished my shopping and was pushing my cart over to my car when I saw Karen slink by with an almost empty cart. We made eye contact. I waved nicely at her. I did not know that you could run so fast in heels before. I don't know why, but I'm getting like minor stolen valor vibes. I know they're not claiming to have been military, but they're like, I was almost in West Point. But yeah, good on her for helping the old lady, and might I say, fantastic job intimidating that evil, wretched Karen. We could definitely use your would-be military expertise in the anti-Karen task force. Secretary of Defense Bacon Cat, what do you think?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.